as you've seen already, there's a lot of math that we're going to be using in chemistry, from scientific notation and significant figures. One of the things we have to do a lot in chemistry is we have to convert from one thing to something else. So I'm going to give you one thing. For example, I'm going to give you a temperature, or I'm going to give you a volume, or I'm going to give you a length of something, and you're going to have to convert that to something else. That's really, we call it dimensional analysis, but don't overthink that too much. Dimensional analysis is really nothing more than converting from one thing to something else. So let me show you how I want you to do it in my class. And this, again, I always want to teach you the easiest way to do things. So example number 1 says, how many liters are there in 125 milliliters? And then I give you the conversion, 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. And I'm never going to ask you to memorize these. I will always give that information to you. But you have to be able to take these milliliters here and convert them to liters. So you can see that the way I have that set up, I always start with the information given in the problem. I always start with in this case, the 125 milliliters. And then the only tricky part, and I don't want to say tricky because it's not really that tricky, is where do I put these in my fraction over here? So I make a little multiplication sign, I make a line, but then I have to decide, does the 1 liter go on the top or on the bottom? And does the 1,000 milliliters go on the top or on the bottom? It's really, really simple. See how we're starting with milliliters here? Whatever that unit is, forget about the number for right now, whatever that unit is, the milliliters, that's the one that has to go on the bottom. Because what happens now is we have milliliters over here, and we have milliliters on the bottom, and those milliliters cancel. Okay, and that's what you want, is when you're doing these conversions, you want to cancel those. Okay, and so now notice the only unit that's left is the liters. So when we put this into the calculator, we're going to take the number 125, we're going to multiply by the 1 that's on the top, and because that 1,000 is on the bottom, we're going to divide by 1,000. And yes, I know you don't have to actually multiply by 1 because it's the same number, but that's just, just to show you, this is the full, if you're doing all the steps, that's what you would do. And then you get an answer of 0.125 liters. Okay, let's look at another example. Number 2, determine the number of torr in 2.5 ATM. ATM stands for atmospheres. And these are all things we're going to use this year. Okay, so what do? We start with the number that they give us, 2.5 atmospheres. So 2.5 ATM. And then again, here's my conversion. And what goes on the bottom? The atmospheres, the ATMs, has to go on the bottom so that the ATMs and ATMs will cancel. And then whatever it's equal to goes on the top, the 760 torr. And then I take 2.5 and I multiply by 760 and I get 1900 torr. Notice that now that we're getting into some more math here, notice that I am using the correct number of significant figures. And you might look back and go, wait, no, you're not, Mr. Johnson. Up here, it's 1 liter, and you use 3. Okay, when you're doing significant figures, you only look at your measured values. Okay, basically, you only look at the numbers that are in the problem. You don't look at the conversions. Okay, don't look at this. You don't look at this for significant figures. Okay, you simply look at, oh, this has 2 digits, and it's just multiplication and division. My answer has 2 digits. Okay, let's look at a couple of more examples here. Again, this is a good point for you to stop and try these yourself, or if you want to follow along with me for a couple and then try some, I'm gonna do all of these for you here now. So letter A says 2.85 centimeters. So again, that's what I always start with. And now I need to convert those centimeters to inches. Okay, well, how do I do that? Again, I make a multiplication sign, I make a line, and then I know that I have centimeters here, so centimeters have to go on the bottom. Okay, so that means in my conversion here, I have to put 2.54 centimeters on the bottom. And what's 2.54 centimeters equal to? 1 inch. Okay, and that's it. Now I'm done. My centimeters are going to cancel. And now I simply take 2.85 times 1 divided by 2.54, and this does have 3 significant figures, so my answer is 1.12 inches. Okay, let's go ahead and go to letter B here. We've got 6.50 liters. And again, I want to cancel liters, so the liters part has to go on the bottom. 3.7854 liters in 1 gallon. So there's almost 4 liters in a gallon, just like there's 4 quarts in a gallon. And I'm going to take 6.50. I'm going to multiply by 1, and then I'm going to divide by 3.7854. And then again, I've got 3 significant figures here, so my answer also 3 significant figures, 1.7. And now it go in the calculator, it's 1.717, which means I've got around that 1.7 up to a 2. So 1.72 gallons. Okay, so 6.5 liters is about 1 3/4 gallons. Okay, a marathon, 26.2 miles, right? How far is a marathon in kilometers? That's what we're doing here. We're converting miles to kilometers. So here it tells us that 1 mile equals 1.609 kilometers. So since I have miles on the top, I have to put 1 mile on the bottom, and that way miles will cancel. And then I put what it's equal to on the top. So I'm going to take 26.2 and I'm going to multiply by 1.609 kilometers. And I have 3 significant figures. So that becomes, I'm going to round that to 42.2 kilometers. Okay, so a marathon is just over 42 kilometers long. So for letter D, we've got 275 pounds, and we need to convert that to kilograms. So we're going to start with our 275 pounds, and then we're going to go 1 pound. Because we've got pounds on the top here, we're going to put 1 pound on the bottom, so they'll cancel. Hey, this is pounds and this is pound. I know, okay, it's fine. One's plural, one's singular. You're going to be okay. Okay, and then we put the kilograms on the top. 275 times 0.454. 275 does have 3 significant figures, so I'm going to round that to 125 kilograms. If you want to make yourself feel skinnier, just change your weight to kilograms, and it'll go down. So that makes me feel a little bit better. Okay, and then our last one, 139 grams. We want to convert that to moles, whatever that is. 1 mole equals 72.6 grams. So we're going to go 139 grams. And then we can go, we got to put grams on the bottom, so grams will cancel. So we've got 72.6 grams on the bottom. We're going to put that 1 mole on the top because that's what it's equal to. The grams are going to cancel, and we take 139 and divide by 72.6. And with 3 significant figures, we get 1.91 moles.